War is one of the most serious and sometimes scary things we hear about in the world. You might see it in movies, read about it in history books, or hear about it on the news. But have you ever wondered, why do we have wars? Why do people from different countries or groups fight each other? And what can we learn from it? Let's take a calm and careful look at this very big question. First, it's important to know that war happens when people or countries fight with weapons or armies. Wars are not like small arguments between friends. They are big conflicts where groups try to control land, protect themselves, or prove power. Wars have happened throughout history, but understanding why they start can help us learn how to avoid them in the future. There are many reasons why wars begin, and often it's not just one cause. It's a mix of problems that build up over time. Here are some of the most common reasons. Sometimes countries or groups want to control land, water, oil, or valuable materials. These resources can be used to grow food, make money, or support a country's needs. If two groups want the same thing and can't agree, it can lead to conflict. Leaders or governments may want more power. They might believe they should rule over more people or land. Sometimes, leaders use war to show strength or gain respect, even if it hurts others. Not all wars are about attacking. Some are about defending. If a country feels threatened, it might go to war to protect its people. These are sometimes called defensive wars. Sometimes, groups have very strong beliefs about religion, culture, or how a country should be run. When these beliefs are very different and no one is willing to compromise, it can lead to conflict. Sometimes, people in a country disagree with their own leaders. If the government is unfair, cruel, or won't listen, the people might rise up. This kind of fighting is called a revolution or a civil war. During war, there is fighting, but also many other things happen. Cities and homes can be destroyed. Families may have to leave their homes and become refugees. Food and water might become hard to find. War causes a lot of sadness and fear. But even during war, many people work for peace. Doctors, nurses, teachers, and peacekeepers help others. They deliver food, care for the injured, and protect children. So while war brings out the worst, it also shows us the best of human kindness and bravery. Let's briefly look at some well-known wars, not to focus on the violence, but to understand the lessons they teach. World War I, 1914 to 1918, started mostly because countries in Europe were forming secret alliances and competing for land and power. One event, the assassination of a leader, set off a chain reaction. World War II, 1939 to 1945, happened when a leader in Germany, Adolf Hitler, invaded other countries and tried to take control of much of Europe. The Vietnam War, the Korean War, and recent conflicts in Ukraine or the Middle East all show how complex war can be and how hard it is to find peace once fighting starts. Even though war has been part of human history, many people and organizations work very hard to stop war before it starts. Here are some ways the world tries to stay peaceful. This is called diplomacy. Leaders and countries meet to talk about problems and try to find peaceful solutions. Countries that trade with each other or work together on science, health, or the environment are less likely to go to war. Teaching people to respect different cultures, religions, and ideas helps reduce fear and hate. The United Nations, UN, is a group of almost every country on Earth. They work to solve global problems, protect people's rights, and prevent wars. Even if you're not a world leader, you can be part of peace. Practice kindness and respect. Solve problems with words, not fists. Ask questions. Learning about history and other cultures helps you become smarter and more peaceful. Talk to adults if you see unfairness or bullying. Peace starts at home and in school. So, why do we have wars? Wars happen when people or countries can't solve problems peacefully, when they fight over land, power, beliefs, or justice. Wars can be long, scary, and very harmful. But by learning about war, we can learn how to build a world with more peace. Remember, war is not the only way. Talking, listening, helping, and understanding are much better tools. The more we learn and care about others, the more peaceful the world can become. Thanks for thinking deeply with us today. Be sure to give this episode a thoughtful thumbs up, subscribe for more big questions, and come back next time to explore the world together.